Okay, I'm getting ready to start my costume. I have got all my pinks and purple, some scraps to make my rose from here. I've got my yellows that I found in our scrap fabric, green for the bows. I've got patterns. I made this one for the last costume I was going to use. I just need to extend it down for the back side of this one. We got some bow pieces that I can work with, and a glove pattern in case I decide to make the gloves on this. And of course, if anyone's curious, this is what I use to make my pattern pieces. I have a pretty big newsprint paper. There's probably, some older pieces in there from other costumes that I've done. And it's time to get started. And I've made some more patterns and some changes to my top pattern. So I'm about ready to start cutting out my yellow flowers for my headpiece and some of the green pieces for the shoes, while my usual problem's getting in the way. So, starting up. Okay, I've got some patterns cut out, but a lot of them have some nice crinkles in them, so I've got to do some ironing. One of my least favorite things to do, partly because I'm not very good at it. But it should help before I sew it and then have to iron once again. There we go. Gets the crinkles out, but this green is supposed to be crinkled looking anyway, so it doesn't get all of it out, which is fine. I like the look of it because it's supposed to be leaves. Well, I'm doing my first run at the machines, and while the yellow is not looking so hot, my second machine is just pulling at the thread, so I might actually have to redo these. Which does not make me happy, but I think I'll just stay off that machine and work with my old white machine. Doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it works. So I'm just sewing the green. One leaf at a time, twisting and twirling. It's going to be a little time consuming, but that's how it is. Normally I do this with both hands, but I figured I'd show you a little of the sewing process. Oops, forgot to push it down. And you're just constantly rearranging. Down. It's a little awkward because I'm a lefty using a machine read for righties, but that's kind of how my life is. Awkward as a lefty. It's very slow. And sometimes you can twist it a bit, and other times you have to readjust it. But, as you can see, I'll be here a while doing all these leaves. But then that will be the end of my green. Well, I'm sitting here and flipping them inside out, and the yellow actually doesn't look as bad as I thought with all the little pivots in it. So I might not redo those, and I'm thinking I'll do a button for the centerpiece of the fort. Some of my little leaves are looking pretty good. I'm not happy with the ones over here, so I might redo those. This is the centerpiece for the bows. They're way too long, but that's okay. Better too long. And you can see the feet bows look pretty decent. So I'm making progress. So I'm working on pinning the next stage of the costume here, where we're doing the yellow, which isn't going to be much. I've got a fourth of a circle skirt here, and my problem has yet again returned just as I needed to start cutting. And we're purring, so I don't move her as much. But she won't be purring in a few minutes here when I start cutting away. But the plan is to make this double layered and fold it inside out with the scalloped edge. It needs 3 scallops on the little yellows, so it's a good practice piece for the rest of the skirt, which needs scallops on every piece of it. In the next step, I'm adding a little stuffing to the pieces for the bows on my feet. I've got my 4 little equal balls out and my nifty little pencil that helps me shove it in, because while having small fingers is good, it's not good enough. It's hard to see, but I've got some scalloped edges penciled on here, and now I'm going to go try and sew them on. Okay, so now I've sewn my scallops. You can see here's the rough one I haven't cut out yet, and the one where I've cut it out. where you go pretty close to the seam without ripping it, of course, and then you've got to make your little notches so that's straight when it flips. And I'm ready to see if it actually flips decently. Seeing I made this double-sided. Hold on a second. Okay, I've got it flipped now. Obviously, I still need to press it. I'm not sure if I'm going to really be happy with this as a scalloped edge. I've wanted a bigger one, but it looks like the inch is about the normal to get it to look nice. But yeah, I've got to press it. And I'm not sure if I'm going to get too much further tonight, because my usual problem is sitting here ready to attack because she wants her normal nap time.